Have you ever sat in the middle of the night, staring at the ceiling, asking yourself, is this it? Is this what my life has come to? Maybe everything around you is collapsing. The people you trusted have turned their backs. Of the job you poured your soul into is gone. Your bank account's empty, your heart's broken, and the voice in your head is whispering, you've lost, you're done. Of that, what if I told you that moment, the one you're in right now, might just be the beginning of your rise, your transformation, your rebirth. You see, there's something most people never understand. Your darkest hour is not your end, it's your proving ground. We're told to avoid pain, to run from failure, to hide our shame. But growth doesn't happen in comfort. Strength isn't built on sunny days. No, real power is forged in chaos, in despair, in the silence, after everything falls apart. The moment when there's nothing left to lose, that's when you find out who you really are. Let me tell you something. The most powerful people you know, those who walk into rooms with unshakable presence, those who speak with certainty, lead with fire, and live with purpose. They didn't get that way because life was kind to them. They got that way because life broke them, shattered them, crushed their illusions. And then, in that crushing darkness, they chose to rebuild, not as they were, but as something stronger, something sharper, something unstoppable. And so can you. This isn't a motivational fairy tale. This is truth. This is blood and grit and soul. You don't become unbreakable by reading quotes or scrolling through feel-good videos. You become unbreakable when you're on your knees, face to the floor, and you whisper, I'm not done yet. So don't curse the darkness you're in. Don't run from it. Don't numb it. Use it. This pain, it's your fire. This loss, it's your wake-up call. This silence, it's the space where your new self begins to speak. There is a reason why rock bottom has built more champions than privilege ever will. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to turn your darkest moments into your greatest opportunities, not with empty words, but with tools, mindsets, and stories that show you the way forward. This is your time, not despite the darkness, but because of it. Let's begin. Pain. We treat it like a curse, something to avoid, to suppress, to numb with distractions, addictions, or fake smiles. But pain, real soul-wrenching pain, is not your enemy. It's your mirror. It reflects who you truly are when nothing's left to hide behind. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you grew stronger from a vacation? When was the last time comfort shaped your character? It doesn't. It never will. Because the universe doesn't mold warriors in ease. It carves them from suffering. You want power. You want clarity. You want to walk into life with your head held high and your voice unshakable. Then embrace the truth. Pain is the path. Think of a seed. Before it becomes a tree, it must be buried in darkness, broken apart from within. Only then can it rise. That's you and your pain. That's the soil. You may not see it yet. You may be asking, why me? But one day you'll look back and say, thank you, pain. Because it was pain that cracked your shell. Pain that burned away your ego. Pain that forced you to let go of what was killing you slowly. Pain that taught you how to breathe when the world tried to suffocate you. Think about it. The people who inspire us most, they've suffered. They've walked through fire, crawled through hell, and kept going when everything inside them screamed to stop. They didn't escape pain. They transformed through it. And so can you. But here's the difference between those who rise and those who break. Those who rise look pain in the eye and ask, what are you here to teach me? Because pain isn't just suffering. It's a signal, a message that something in you must change. A part of you must die so that something stronger can be born. So stop numbing it. Stop running. Feel it. Let it tear through the lies. Let it shatter the masks. Let it show you the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Because in pain, there is truth. And in truth, there is power. Don't you dare waste your suffering. Don't you dare let this chapter close without learning what it came to teach you. You're not broken. You're breaking open. You're not weak. You're being refined. This pain, it's not punishment. It's preparation. So stand in it. Let it wash over you, strip you down, and reveal the steel beneath your skin. Because what's born on the other side of pain is unbreakable. There comes a moment when everything changes, not outside of you, but within. It's not when things get easier. It's not when the pain stops. It's when you decide, I will no longer be a victim. That's the shift. That's the line in the sand. That's the day you stop waiting for someone to save you, and instead you become your own savior. Listen closely. Pain can break you, or it can build you, but it cannot do both. You must choose. The shift happens the day you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to make of me? Do you understand how powerful that change in mindset is? Victims stay stuck. They relive the story of their suffering. Like a broken record, they seek pity. They blame the world. They wait for justice. But warriors write new endings. They don't beg the world to change. They become the change. It doesn't mean you stop feeling. It doesn't mean you pretend everything's okay. It means you take your pain and turn it into purpose. Let me tell you a story. There was a man whose life fell apart. His business collapsed. His family left him. He was alone, broke, and suicidal. One night, he wrote a letter, not to say goodbye, but to write down all the things he had survived. Every betrayal, every failure, every breakdown. When he looked at that list, he realized something. I've been through hell, and I'm still breathing. That was his shift. He didn't become a millionaire overnight. He didn't win everyone back, but he stopped crawling. He stood up, and that one decision, to fight, to rise, to take control, led him down a path that changed his entire life. Not because the world got easier, but because he got stronger. And so can you. No one's coming to save you. That's the truth, but that's also your power. Because when you realize the fight is yours and yours alone, you stop waiting and start moving. The moment you stop pointing fingers, the moment you stop saying, if only, that's the moment you reclaim your life. You were not meant to be a victim. You were not meant to stay broken. You were meant to rise, to fight, to lead. And it all begins with one choice. I will not stay down. You don't have to have all the answers. You just need to stop surrendering. Because when you shift from helpless to hungry, from why me to watch me, that's when the world starts to move. Not because it changed, but because you did. After the collapse comes silence. The dust settles, the noise fades, and you're left standing, surrounded by broken dreams, shattered plans, and the haunting question, where do I begin? This moment right here is where most people stop, not because they're weak, but because they never learned how to rebuild. We live in a world that teaches how to climb, but not how to rise from the ashes. Let me be clear. Rebuilding is not about pretending nothing happened. It's about using what happened to build something unshakable. You see, rock bottom has a power that comfort never will. When everything is stripped away, your identity, your image, your illusions, you're left with something rare. Truth. The truth of who you are. The truth of what matters. The truth of what can no longer be ignored. And from that truth comes the blueprint. You don't need to rebuild the old version of you. That version didn't survive for a reason. This is your chance to build someone new, someone wiser, someone sharper, someone forged in fire. Start small, start real. When you're surrounded by rubble, you don't build a mansion. You lay one brick, then another, then another. Maybe your first brick is waking up early again. Maybe it's going for a walk, even when your legs are heavy with sorrow. Maybe it's calling someone and saying, "I'm not okay, but I'm trying." These aren't small acts, these are revolutionary acts. Because when you're broken, every step forward is an act of defiance. Every decision to try again is a declaration of war against despair. And slowly, day by day, you begin to see shape form in the wreckage, not of your old life, but of a new one that's not built on fear, but on strength, not on approval, but on authenticity, not on pretending, but on purpose. Rebuilding doesn't look glamorous. It looks like failure. It looks like tears at 2 a.m. It looks like starting over when no one's watching. But those who rise from the ashes don't do it for applause. They do it because they've seen the bottom, and they've decided it will not be their final address. You are not here to decorate your ruins. You are here to build a kingdom from them. Let them laugh. Let them doubt you. Let them say you've changed, because you have. And that change, it's your crown. Push is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your purpose. You didn't suffer for nothing. You didn't cry in the dark for no reason. Every sleepless night, every breakdown, every scar, it all means something, but only if you make it mean something. Push is the raw material of greatness. It's the fire that burns away the shallow, the fake, the surface-level nonsense, and reveals something deeper calling. You see, the world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs real ones, people who've been through the fire and came back with wisdom. People who aren't afraid to speak truth because they've lived it. People who carry their scars like armor, not shame. Your pain is not just yours. Someone out there needs your story. Someone is walking through the same fire you survived, and they're looking for proof that survival is possible. That proof is you. Purpose isn't always glamorous. It doesn't always come with applause or fame. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just being the person you needed when you were falling apart. Sometimes it's choosing to show up again and again, even when no one notices. Sometimes it's saying, "I've been there," to someone on the edge. And sometimes it's using what nearly destroyed you to build something that helps others rise. That's not weakness, that's transcendence. So ask yourself, what did my pain teach me? What does it demand I do with it? Because if you let it, pain will shape your mission. It will give your suffering a reason, and reason is what keeps you moving. When motivation fades, you're not here just to heal. You're here to build from your healing, to take everything you've been through and use it, not to stay stuck in the past, but to pull others into the future. Maybe your purpose is to write, to speak, to lead, to raise a better generation, to build something that stands long after you're gone. Whatever it is, let it be born from truth. Let it be forged in fire. Let it carry the weight of your story and the strength of your scars. You are not just a survivor. You are a messenger, a warrior with a voice, a soul on a mission. The world needs more of that, and it starts with you. There is a force inside you, not outside. Not in money, not in status, not in applause, inside you. And it's been waiting for you to remember, you were not born weak. You were not born to break. You were born with fire in your bones and thunder in your chest. But somewhere along the way, life taught you to dim your light, to be small, to be quiet, to be acceptable. You learned to suppress your voice, to doubt your power, to shrink in rooms where you were meant to stand tall. But here's the truth, that fire never left. That power never died. It was buried under fear, under shame, under the lies you were told about who you are and what you're worth. And now it's time to reclaim it. Inner power doesn't scream. It doesn't beg. It doesn't need permission. It knows. It's the quiet strength that rises when the world turns against you. It's the voice that says, "Get up," when you're on your knees. It's the force that moves you when your body is tired and your soul is heavy. And the moment you stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for truth. That's when the power returns. Look back. Remember every time you thought you were done, but still made it through. Remember the days you broke, but rebuilt. The nights you cried, but woke up again. That wasn't luck. That was you. Your resilience, your will, your light. You don't need to become powerful. You need to remember that you already are. You've survived things others wouldn't have. You felt pain that could have drowned you, but you're still here. You are not weak. You are waking up. This is the moment you rise, not with arrogance, but with certainty, not with noise, but with presence, because true power isn't loud. It's undeniable. It's the kind of energy that walks into a room and shifts it without saying a word. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You just have to own yourself. Stand in who you are, in everything you've overcome, in everything you're becoming. Your power is not coming. It's already here. Now unleash it. Inspiration will wake you up, but discipline is what keeps you moving. Motivation fades. Emotions shift. Life gets loud again. But a warrior doesn't depend on how they feel. A warrior moves by principle, not by mood. You've faced the darkness. You've touched your pain. You've begun to rebuild. Now comes the hardest part. Consistency, not dramatic leaps, not one-day transformations, but the relentless choice, day after day, to show up when it's hard, to rise when no one's watching, to move forward when it would be easier to fall back. This is the discipline of warriors. They keep the promises they make to themselves. You say you want to rise, then wake up early, even when your bed feels like heaven. Train your body, even when it's sore. Speak your truth, even when your voice shakes. Work on your dream, even when doubt is screaming. Discipline is doing the right thing, especially when no one applauds. It's mastering the moment, owning your choices, taking the pain, the lessons, the purpose, and weaving them into your daily life. Too many wait for the perfect moment, but the warrior knows there is no perfect moment. There's only now. Let me be honest, you will fall again. You will feel fear again. You will face days when everything in you wants to quit. But that's when discipline steps in and says, not today. We rise again. The discipline of a warrior is not about being emotionless. It's about being unshakable in spite of emotion. It's building systems that hold you when your spirit breaks. It's creating routines that carry you when you feel lost. It's building a life you don't need to escape from. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's the highest form of self-love because it says, I will not abandon myself, no matter how I feel. Remember, inspiration may start the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. And warriors, they don't wait for the world to align. They become their own alignment. So wake up, show up, repeat. That's how revolutions are built, not in explosions, but in quiet, daily acts of defiance. There will come a time when the fire doesn't fade, when the pressure doesn't ease, when the weight on your shoulders becomes your new normal. And in that moment, you'll ask, how much longer do I have to walk through this? That's the part no one talks about. Not the moment of breakdown, not the comeback story, but the in-between, the long, silent war where nothing seems to change and everything hurts. This is where most people give up, not because they're weak, but because they expected the fire to end quickly. They thought transformation would come wrapped in a timeline. But growth doesn't come with deadlines, and purpose doesn't rush. Fire is a process. It burns away the excess. It purifies. It reveals, not just once, but again and again and again. And the question is not, can you escape the fire? The real question is, can you walk through it without losing who you are? Because anyone can smile when the pain ends, but only warriors learn how to stand strong while it still burns. That means waking up every day inside the same storm, and still choosing to move. It means believing in something greater than your current suffering. It means learning to breathe in smoke and not choke. Let me tell you something powerful. The fire is not here to kill you. It's here to forge you. Every trial, every setback, every delay, it's refining you, sharpening your edges, solidifying your foundation. Think of steel. It's not born strong. It's made strong by heat, by hammer, by time. That's you. You're being shaped, not destroyed, shaped. So don't look at the fire as punishment. See it as preparation. And when you want to quit, remember the pain you feel now is the price of becoming who you were born to be. You don't walk through fire to prove anything to the world. You walk through it to prove something to yourself. That you won't burn, that you won't break, that you are the fire. You've walked through the shadows. You've stared into the fire. You've faced your pain, stood in your rubble, reclaimed your power, and remembered your voice. Now you stand at the edge of something new, not because the world has changed, because you have. You are no longer the person who broke. You are the one who rebuilt. You are no longer defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what you chose to do with it. Yeah, this is the rise, the real one. It doesn't come with music or applause. It comes with a quiet knowing. I made it, not all the way, not without scars, but through it. Stronger, wiser, truer. And now, you face a choice. You can walk forward and carry everything you've learned, or you can shrink back and pretend none of this ever happened. But let me ask you something. After everything you've survived, why would you ever play small again? Why would you dim your fire now? After walking through the flames, why would you go silent after finding your voice? You didn't suffer for silence. You didn't rise for approval. You came through hell to become who you were meant to be. And the world needs that version of you, not the polished, perfect, scripted version, but the raw, real, battle-tested one, the one who knows what pain feels like and uses that pain to build, to lead, to serve, to fight. Your darkest hour was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to deliver you to this moment, to this you. So take the pain, take the lessons, take the fire, and turn it into action. Turn it into legacy. Turn it into light. Someone out there needs your strength. Someone needs your story. Someone is stuck in the darkness you just crawled out of. Be their proof that rising is possible. Not because you're superhuman, but because you made one decision. I will not let this break me. I will rise. So rise, louder, bolder, deeper. And the next time darkness comes, you won't fear it, because now you carry the light.